Too many vegans have Test, test. Ah. Nice, you guys can hear me now at least. Oh, can you hear me actually? Let me know in the chat. While I add some filters here. How's that? I think we've overcome. Bad static? Okay. Thank you for troubleshooting me. How's that? Nice? Okay. Awesome. Thank you for troubleshooting me. It's a little bit quiet. It's a little bit quiet, hey? How's that? Nice? Nice. Okay, that's better. Good, good, good. All right. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. It's going to be worth it. We've got a good one. Awesome. So we're just finishing up on Fast Action Network before I get to the big scoop. Gotta drag these things out, that's what I've learned. It's going to be a little bit of a spoiler because it's not me that Freddy's agreed to debate. So that's a real shame. But, you know, it is going to be a public debate. It's going to be online. I'm probably going to stream it. So that you guys can watch also. Right, what are we doing here? We're coming to our LinkedIn. Damon Harmon. I'm sad to see Subway still using hands yet. Oh look, it's happy to share that I've started a new position as Executive Vice President and wait, is EVP Executive Vice President? EVP, whatever that is. And President of North America. Damien Harmon, I'm so upset to see that Subway. We're still using eggs from hens, forced to live in disgusting tiny cages and cramped together and suffering. This isn't right. This is our way to let them know. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for Kerry for helping me troubleshoot the sound. What a bad time to lose sound, eh? Email Subway's new global CCO about his website. Oh, they added a load today. Alright, well, we've got a few of these before we get to talking about Freddy. Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate you. I always appreciate you in chat. And in comments as well. Very supportive. I appreciate that a lot. Who's on action.thehumaneleague.org with me right now? Giving a hard time to Subway and Best Western. Big old massive companies that serve a lot of eggs, keep a lot of hens, and abuse a lot of hens, and have promised to stop doing it, and they've broken the promise. So right now I'm emailing the CCO his personalized website. Should have a look at what those personalized websites are like, actually, because I always talk about them, but I've never, I don't think I've ever brought one up on stream. So they make these campaign websites specifically about the Subway people who are implicated. Miguel Piedra. Miguel Piedra, CCO.com, this is. Chief Communications Officer. nice. I like this idea of holding the executives personally accountable. They are personally accountable. It's their job to decide to keep these hens in cages or not, and at the moment they're deciding to keep them in cages. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. Going to be telling you all about the big news that I just got. It's the debate I've been wanting for a long time. It's not gone to me, but it will be public, and we're gonna have a look. We're gonna have a look at it in a moment. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but we're gonna have a look at the run-up. So we'll be talking all about the debate that Frederic Leroy has finally agreed to on the Dublin Declaration. I'm honestly shocked that he's agreed to it. I just found this out less than an hour ago. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, again, the debate's not going to be with me, but it is going to be with an author of one of the prominent critiques of the Dublin Declarations. She certainly knows her stuff. Send a contact form to HSMAI. Hospitality Sales Marketing Association. It's a Best Western one. It's a Best Western one. Now this is going to be a form, so I'll take it over here so it doesn't dox me. I don't know why I bother doing that, to be honest. Actually, this is just my email. That's not too bad. We can do that. And confirming I'm not a robot. Doxed. Again, we got a voicemail one. I'm not going to do the phone ones. And we got another one for LinkedIn. Going hard on LinkedIn. I like that they appreciate LinkedIn posts on this platform. Welcome, welcome, guys. We've got very exciting news. Very exciting news about an upcoming debate. I'm going to drag that out a little bit and have you all doing some fast action network in the meantime. We got to do our bit. We got to do our bit for the animals, guys. I want this stream to always be contributing something and not, you know, purely drama or whatever entertainment, right? Oh, look at this. There's even more. You guys are going to have to wait forever. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, there's two more. There's two more. World Hotels Facebook. So easy to do these. I've done probably about a dozen comments and emails in the 16 minutes since I started streaming. Right, here we go. Let's make sure that link actually comes up, because it doesn't always. So maybe it'll come up after I post it, hey? Or just not at all. I don't really know how to change that on Facebook though. It's annoying. You don't get any points for the Facebook ones either. No, Kerry, I haven't heard about that. What's a scam? B12 in general. It's definitely piqued my interest. I'm gonna Google it. I have nothing else. I'd take a look at anything if you've got a link to an article or something. Alright, we've done this one. Did I just do this? Yeah, I just did this. I'm now chicken champion. I remember when I became a chicken warrior, was I, before? Damn, over 200 total score. I was kind of overshooting in a lot of the vegan 2.0. I just did vegan 2.0 week 12 last week. And I normally say that I'm doing 10 points per week. I know I sometimes overshoot them a little bit, and sometimes they sort of round up to more than 10. Just the way the tasks come, but that's still pretty tasty. 200. I think I've done quite a lot on stream just since streaming. Right, I think it's just phone ones left. I'm not going to do these. Guys, go over to action.thehumaneleague.org and get on it. You can contribute to organised campaigns over here. They make it super easy just to click through and send emails. But since we ate our vegetables there and did a little bit of hard work already, let's take a look at the best news that I've had for many moons. You can call me JBS because I am invested in this beef, okay? Freddy Leroy has agreed to debate this person. It's not going to be a debate with me, unfortunately, so I will be leaving up for how long has Frederic Leroy avoided chrisbryant.com, where we can continue to get an update on that. Let's have a look, actually. Now been 9 months, 22 days, 21 hours, 57 minutes and 19 seconds since Freddy's been running from a Dublin Declaration debate. And this count will be continuing on, because it won't be me that he's debating, but he has agreed to debate the Dublin Declaration in public, online, live. I'm going to stream it with Irina Herzon, who is a senior lecturer at University of Helsinki and a lead author of one of the prominent critiques of the Dublin Declaration. Funnily enough, Irina Herzon contacted me when I was already working on another Dublin Declaration response, the Dublin Declaration response that I led. And we were already some way into that process, and she was setting something up. And so in the end, we wrote and worked on separate responses. But Irina Herzon started almost a year after I did and published very quickly, somehow like almost a year before I did. So she's extremely clever. She's extremely sharp. She's going to do a good job in this debate. I'm pretty sure of it. And of course, Freddy Leroy, we know, is going to be up to his usual tricks. Let's see what they say here. The Dublin Declaration of Scientists on the Societal Role of Livestock has sparked fierce debate in European and global agriculture. Yeah, you could say that. Especially as the livestock industry and its critics vie to shape the future of food systems. Presenting by leading experts from both sides, this webinar discusses the credibility and impact of the Declaration on science, policy, and the livestock sector. Let me blue sky out the stream real quick. See if we get some people joining. I don't know if my blue skies get many views, honestly, but we'll see. Dr. Irina Herzon, whose published critiques directly challenge the Declaration, argues that it exemplifies flawed scientific advocacy, one that draws on selective evidence, narrow expertise, and close industry ties, potentially undermining transparency and the integrity of scientific contributions to policy. This is kind of an oddly phrased summary of Herzon's critique. Exemplifies flawed scientific advocacy. It's flawed science. It's what it is. It's pretty good scientific advocacy, right? As a lobbying document. One that draws on selective evidence, yes, that's true. No expertise. Yeah, again, an interesting way to express that, but they're saying they're not telling the whole story. And close industry ties, certainly. Essentially demanding transparency and yeah, I mean, integrity of science, I think, is the major thing at stake here. The Dublin Declaration, we're going to read the Dublin Declaration in a minute. It's not very long, but it is a painful read. It's like 5 paragraphs, and it is so poetically written to perfectly mislead readers into thinking that there's no need for us to reduce our meat consumption from factory farms. Professor Frederic Leroy, a co-author of the Declaration, will share the rationale behind the creation of the Declaration and defend the need for a more nuanced and inclusive debate on the role of livestock. This is an interesting excerpt as well. He doesn't actually say that he'll defend the Declaration. He says he'll defend the rationale behind the creation of the Declaration and defend the need for a more nuanced and inclusive debate. So neither of those things are he will defend the Dublin Declaration. Hey, Roisin, how's it going? Nice to see you. Roisin lives down the road from me. And we used to work together also at a vegan charity here in Bristol. That was really cool to see you, Roisin. No, thanks for joining. Just got very exciting news that Frederic Leroy, who's my... I don't even want to say arch nemesis, because I need to get there, right? He at the moment is just completely ignoring me. He's top of my spreadsheet of meat industry figures who win debate. Here it is. He's got the first row, Frederic Leroy, University of Brussels. We've got a bunch of other Dublin Declaration people on this list as well. These are the 6 main co-authors. I frequently tag them in things on LinkedIn, saying that they're full of it. And not once has any of them disagreed or, in fact, responded at all to that criticism. A couple of them have blocked me, though, and all of them are refusing to debate. Here's for how long has Frederic Leroy avoided chrisbryant.com. Ticking up. But excitingly, this guy, who is the notorious spreader of bullshit pro-meat science, has agreed to debate Dr. Irina Herzon, who is a senior lecturer and lead author of one of the critiques of the infamous Dublin Declaration. Thank you, Roisin. I appreciate that. Damn, nice that I came up on your main page. That's awesome. Key themes of the debate. Well, the Dublin Declaration asserts... Oh, this is... Put this date in your calendar, guys, because this is going to be when it is. And I'll definitely live stream it. It's going to be... This is my WrestleMania. What the Dublin Declaration asserts about livestock, nutrition, and sustainability. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is interesting. Again, it's kind of interesting framing. The theme is what it asserts, right? And the main criticism of the Dublin Declaration is that it is very unclear in what it is actually saying and what it is not actually saying. Right, so the empirical critique focuses on the evidence that the words that are written advance certain frames which the authors hilariously then don't attempt to defend, and which Paul Wood even more hilariously did attempt to defend in my debate with him. Concerns about selectivity and polarization. I think that is... Well, selectivity is one of the critiques on our side. Polarization, I'm suspicious, because this is something that they talk about in the Dublin Declaration, which we're going to see in a minute. And they're basically using it to imply that, you know, if you're opposed to the current industrial animal agriculture system, that's because you're polarized, right? We might actually just watch some of Freddy's best hits this evening, because I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys flavor of what this guy's like. The importance of open multidisciplinary discussion. That's probably going to be one of their talking points. And I think the theme or the implication there is, if you say that this is misleading, or if you say that this is against the scientific consensus, then you're not being open, right? We need an open multidisciplinary discussion. Otherwise, we're going to realize that we need to reduce our meat consumption and production. And we don't want to do that from Freddy's perspective. Science as advocacy, yep, that's definitely going to be talking points on our side, because this is exactly what the Dublin Declaration is. Who should attend? Agriculture and food policy professionals, scientists, sustainability practitioners, students, and interested members of the public. And YouTube viewers. We're interested members of the public. I'm a scientist, but he's not going to debate me. He's going to debate this Irina Herzon. She's going to do a good job, I know she is. In a minute, we'll read the Dublin Declaration, which again, not very long, but I want you guys to see what it is that we're talking about here. We might also read Herzon's response. That is, in some ways, not as fun, because it's not going to be as outrageous, right? It's just going to be quite a measured, objective, well-cited piece, whereas the Dublin Declaration is wacky. Hey, Jake, hey, Lambretta, good to see you guys. Did you know Charlie Kirk was shot? Jesus. Is that real? Damn. Shot at Campbell in Utah. Well, they reckon he's going to die. Doesn't really give me any information about what kind of condition he's in. This is the second biggest news after Frederic Leroy agreeing to debate the Dublin Declaration. Someone in chat said it looks like he's not going to make it. I'm not getting enough info from what I'm seeing here. Video from bystanders on social media. Geez, okay. Probably can't watch that on stream. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to watch that, to be honest. Okay, well, crazy times. Same place the girl was stabbed on the bus. Jesus. Rough neighborhood. Well, there you go. Like I say, second biggest news today behind Freddy Leroy agreeing to debate the Dublin Declaration. Let's take a look. Damn, the Charlie Kirk thing is crazy, I'm not going to lie. Right, let's take a look. This is one of my favourite documents to discuss. So I appreciate you guys joining me for the discussion this evening. The Dublin Declaration of Scientists on the Societal Role of Livestock. You guys have heard me talking about this, no doubt. You've heard me criticising it, you've heard me say it's junk science. You might have seen me debating it with Paul Wood. And now, we're going to read it. Like I say, it's not a long document, so this is not going to take us very long. Bear in mind, this is being presented as scientific evidence in defence of the livestock industry. Okay, so this particular document has been taken to policymakers around the world. Here we go, we've got the PDF version. They probably take the PDF version, right? Oh, well, maybe not with that formatting. Let's see how scientifically robust we think this document is, okay? Purpose of this declaration. Livestock systems must progress on the basis of the highest scientific standards. They are too precious to society to become the victim of simplification, reductionism, or zealotry. Any alarm bells ringing already? The second sentence asserts that they are too precious, that they are victims, and ironically talks about simplification, reductionism, and zealotry, all of which we're about to see in spades in this document. These systems must continue to be embedded in and have broad approval of society. Hello? Must they? Livestock systems must continue to have broad approval of society. What does that even mean? It is imperative that the majority of the population supports livestock systems. That's a meaningless sentence. For that, scientists are asked to provide reliable evidence for their nutrition and health benefits, environmental sustainability, sociocultural and economic values, as well as for solutions for the many improvements that are needed. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to point out in this sentence. Damn, we're going to do a blow-by-blow of the whole Dublin Declaration. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. So, first of all, scientists are asked to provide reliable evidence on their various benefits. So, straight away at the top of the Dublin Declaration, right, we've got two sentences that just assert livestock systems are good. They're precious, they're victims, they must continue to have the broad approval of society. And then the sentence after that, soliciting evidence for their benefits. But you've just asserted that they're precious and that they must continue to have the broad approval of society. So presumably you're saying that because you have evidence of their benefits, right? You wouldn't just be asserting those things based on nothing at all, right? This is not how you do science, right? Can you find us some evidence of the benefits of livestock systems? Does that sound like an impartial approach to scientific study? Sounds like they know the outcomes that they wanted there. And by the way, this is their little bit of sentence that is going to enable them to say that they have talked about how livestock systems need to be improved, right? And just look at the structure of this sentence. So it's quite a long sentence, first of all, right? We've got several clauses, we've got a list going on here, and then at the end of the list, as well as solutions for the many improvements that are needed, is very much, it's very easy for this to be lost in this very long sentence. And it certainly doesn't seem to be sufficient to address that there are massive problems with existing livestock systems. So just wanted to point that out. This declaration aims to give voice to the many scientists around the world who research diligently, honestly, and successfully in the various disciplines in order to achieve a balanced view of the future of animal agriculture. Again, it's so emotive. It's really inappropriate to be this emotive in a scientific paper. Livestock systems are precious. They're the victims of zealotry, and they must continue to have the broad approval of society. And the scientists in this field research diligently and honestly and successfully. This is a bizarre paper. Challenges for livestock. Uh-oh. Today's food systems face an unprecedented double challenge. There is a call to increase the availability of livestock-derived foods, meat, dairy, eggs, to help satisfy the unmet nutritional needs of an estimated 3 billion people for whom nutrient deficiencies contribute to stunting, wasting, anemia, and other forms of malnutrition. So these, again, another long sentence in which they're hoping you get lost along the way, because there's a need to increase the availability of livestock-derived foods. This actually doesn't necessarily mean to increase the quantity of livestock-derived foods. It just means to change the places in which they're available. So this is one of the many misleading sentences that they will use to imply one thing and then be able to retreat to another. We'll see some of this in the rebuttals page in a moment. This is also very vague, and this is where the lack of proper citations becomes a problem. They're not going to have any citations through this document, right? And then just at the end, they're going to say, for scientific evidence, please refer to the presentation recordings from the October 2022 International Summit on the Societal Role of Meat and the special issue of Animal Frontiers. This is not a proper citation. You cannot just write a whole paper and then put one line at the end saying, all the evidence is in this whole journal special issue. Go see it's all in there somewhere. This is not proper citations, right? How can you chase down and verify anything in here that you doubt when the only citation is for the whole document to a whole special issue? You can't, right? You can't practically chase down anything they're saying. So there is a call to increase the availability of livestock-derived foods. From who? Right, well, one of your mates wrote it. What's the citation? What's the source? That's the problem with not having proper citations in here.